All right, let's talk about something I'm sure we've all felt. You know that feeling when your data is just trapped, stuck in a dozen different places? Well, today, we're diving into the one feature in Power BI that really sets it all free, data connectors. We're going to see how this awesome tool can connect to your data, literally no matter where it lives.
So, does this scenario ring a bell? You've got your sales numbers over here in some Excel sheets. Then your website traffic is way over there in Google Analytics. Customer details? Oh, that's in Salesforce. And don't forget the really important operational data that's stuck in some ancient company database. I mean, your data's literally everywhere, living in its own little world.
Okay, so how on earth do you bring all of that chaos together to get one clear picture? Well, that's exactly where data connectors come in. Honestly, the best way to think about a connector is like a universal travel adapter for your data. It's that magic little piece that lets Power BI plug into any of those different sources and actually understand what they're saying. It's the bridge, the translator, all in one.
All right, to really get a handle on how this all works, let's start our journey with the most common place we all keep data, right? We're talking simple files on our computers or maybe up in the cloud. This is usually where everyone starts when they try to get their data organized.
So first up, the most basic category to get your head around is file connectors. This is your go-to for pretty much anything saved as a file. Doesn't matter if it's sitting right there on your desktop or stored in a cloud service like SharePoint or OneDrive.
And the stuff you can do here is seriously powerful. For example, you can literally point Power BI to a folder that's just full of monthly Excel sales reports, and boom, it automatically combines them all into one giant master table. It can even pull data tables that are locked inside of a PDF. I mean, who knew you could do that? Or connect it to a SharePoint folder, and Power BI is smart enough to just pull in and organize all the documents for you.
Okay, moving on from just individual files, it's time to level up. Now we're talking about the systems that are the real backbone of most businesses, right? This is where the data is live, it's always changing, and it's absolutely mission critical. We're talking databases and the cloud.
Yeah, with these next couple of categories, we're leaving static files behind. Now we're plugging directly into the live, beating heart of a company's entire data infrastructure. This is the big stuff. So what does that really mean? It means you can tap into those super established traditional databases. You know, think of them like the old organized libraries that have been running your business for years. We're talking about things like a SQL Server, Oracle, or yeah, even a classic Microsoft Access database.
But here's the really cool part. At the exact same time, Power BI connects just as easily to the most modern, cutting-edge cloud platforms out there. So whether your customer data is in Salesforce, your web traffic is in Google Analytics, or your whole operation runs on an Azure service, the connection is completely seamless. It just expertly bridges that gap between the old and the new.
And this is what lets you build those incredibly powerful live reports. Just imagine a sales dashboard that's pulling data from Salesforce and updating almost in real time, or a report that hooks right into Google Analytics so you can see your marketing impact as it happens. You can even keep an eye on your internal operations just by plugging straight into your main SQL server. It is all about getting those live, actionable insights.
Okay, but what happens when your data source isn't a simple file or a standard database, right? What if your needs are a bit more complex, a little more unique? Well, this is where we get into the really advanced toolkit for the power users out there.
This is where you see the true flexibility of the platform in its advanced options. These next categories, Power Platform and other connectors, they're built for those really specialized, really custom data situations. This is for when you got to push the boundaries a little bit.
So what does this actually look like? Well, you can connect directly to data from other tools in the Microsoft Power Platform, like an app someone built in Power Apps. Or, get this, you can run your own Python or R scripts to do some really advanced cleaning and analysis on your data before it even gets into your report. You can even scrape data tables right from a website. And for the really ambitious folks, you can build a totally custom connector for a system that's completely unique to your company. The whole point is to make sure there are absolutely no dead ends.
Okay, wow, so we've covered files, databases, cloud platforms, and even custom scripts. Let's just take a step back for a second and look at the big picture here. Because the real goal isn't just to connect to these things one by one, it's to unify all of them into one single cohesive view. It's about creating that legendary single source of truth. And that brings us to what is probably the most important takeaway of all this. The real magic? It isn't in any single one of these connectors. No. The true honest-to-goodness power comes from using all of them together in the very same report. You can seamlessly blend your local Excel data with live data from Salesforce and web stats from Google. That, right there, is the absolute game changer. So just as a final quick recap, let's lock in these key categories. You've got your file connectors for all your everyday documents. You've got database and cloud connectors, which tap into the heart of your business. Then there's the Power Platform for that really deep integration. And finally, other connectors for, well, basically everything else under the sun. Each one is just another bridge connecting you to one more part of your data universe.
So with all these tools at your fingertips, you basically have the keys to unlock and unify data from practically anywhere. The technical roadblocks are gone, and that just leaves you with one simple and kind of exciting question. Now that you can connect to anything, what are you going to build?